reasonable first half out of the Nylum side on their, I believe on their CT it was 9-6 at half. They won the pistol round, pushed it forward a little bit. But now we're going to be seeing Cloud9 facing off against Mousesports, and we are live into this knife round, so we're going to see who gets to choose what side to start this one out. And just waiting for this little bit of a standoff here in mid to commence, and I'm sure Moses has got some interesting statistics we can go over before this one gets started.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing. Inferno, obviously, the CT side is favored. You want to start on that CT side. But Mouse, they struggle on their CT side. They haven't won double-digit CT rounds in any of the matches that we've had recorded. So through ESEA or off the HLTV website, they haven't won double-digit CT rounds, which is absolutely insane. And that might be. They won the knife round.
They won the knife round,
and
now
they went T-side. So
yeah.
that kind of makes sense here a little bit.
Put a little kink in the thing.
I'm sure Cloud9 is so incredibly happy about that.
I've never seen a team pick the slightly more disadvantaged side.
Penta has actually done it on this map.
Have they?
Playing, it was in an online, I believe it was against Virtus Pro.
Oh.
I believe. I could be wrong on that one, but they ended up winning it.
Gotcha.
But here we see a team that struggles on their CT side, so they take the favored half, not necessarily overall, but what's favored to them.
Right. And again, we see that interesting Tech-9 armor buy coming out from Chris J. Obviously, Chris J, Tapson, Gabi, Legia, and Nico, who we saw in the All-Star game. He had some struggles in the All-Star game, but he was still able to get it done, as they did take that one. Shroud opens up, Gabi and Legia go back in, and Nothing is able to find one as well. So we are going to be on a 3 versus 3.
Nothing with a one-tap in the pit.
Looking for more, but he's not going to be able to find it just yet. And again, tapping away from the library is going to be Simphis, silent at USP, trying to get it done. That nade does good damage onto Gabi, but Chris J so strong with that Tech-9. And now it's all down to Sean Garris. He's trying to chip away and find the heads. All he can see is the top of their faces and can't connect with those USP shots. That P2000, pardon me. As he's going to go ahead and try to push in. They're going to surround him. Gabi finishes it off. So 2 big frags for Chris J and the Tech-9, and Gabi cleaning it up with 2 of his own. So Mousesports making it work on their pick.
Yeah, and the crucial part was when it came down to that 3-on-3, Nothing's still alive in the pit. He got that beautiful one-tap, but they cleaned him out almost immediately afterwards. And if Nothing's allowed to stay alive in that position, he automatically has a crossfire on the bomb site. So the fact that they cleared out the pit was the key to success in that round. And now here we do see that standard second round buy at a Cloud9, and Nothing picks up a shotgun, but I believe that was actually dropped to him, I almost want to say. Maybe not.
Well, he's on $0. I think he picked that one up. He did get a couple of frags in the first round, so able to put a little money in the bank, and he's going to try to play this cheeky angle here. There are 3 terrorists down there. That's Tapson, Gabi, and I believe Chris J. Yes, all down there in the banana. They're going to make their way back up over here towards mid SMGs, but Shroud's got other plans. Going to go ahead and take down Nico. Nice 5-7 headshot to take him out. And that's going to leave that man advantage the way of Cloud9.
Yeah, and there's no way for Mouse to know it right now, but this is a very, very passive A setup. You look at Shazam is over in the closet and Shroud in the archway just kind of covering for him. There's 3 players stacked over towards B, so any kind of hauls or lane push is going to be met with 0 resistance at the moment. But Mouse obviously doesn't know this, and then they're going to have to try and clear out one of these sides of middle. They are going to Molotov Shazam out of position. They're not able to capitalize on it. They do force him out, but can't get that kill. And that might force him to rotate into the site and provide a little bit of a defense.
Yeah, and the terrorist side actually rotating all the way back around to B, and this is going to bode well for the CTs. Actually, they go for a push, and that's Simphis maybe trying to bait him in. Now this shotgun from Nothing. Can he make it happen? No, he gets taken out immediately by Legia, but there's another one in the sight, and Sean Garris not able to line up the shots. Shazam and Shroud going to be forced to rotate around. They do have 5-7. Shroud with already 1 to his name. That's the only frag that they've gotten so far. Legia with a big 3K now with that MP7 is going to be able to take down Shazam. He loses his life on that rotation. And now it's all down to Shroud. And a 1 versus 4 post plant. The AK of Gabi, he's low, but Tapson finds the kill. 2-0 for Mousesports.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate because that actually was exactly what Cloud9 was looking for. They forced Mousesports into pushing towards B, which is where they had their stack, and they weren't able to convert the kills. They even had Simphis push, and he gets taken out, and that's kind of a bait strategy. So now they think they've cleared out 1 player. Maybe he was a solo player trying to get a quick flank, and they commit to that hit where there's 2 players, but Cloud9 not able to capitalize on it.
And it's unfortunate. I thought for sure Nothing was going to get that Nova kill on the player coming in, but I think it was just because the hitboxes, he was jumping, crouching around the corner and hit him in the big toe and only did 97 damage instead of 100. So a little unfortunate on that one, and they're going to go for the B stack again this round for this Cloud9 side. 4 members this time with only Shazam over in the A bomb site. So if they do decide to go over that direction, it could pay dividends for Cloud9. But pretty standard stuff here from the terrorist side with 2 guys over here in Banana. Chris J is going to be at the bottom of mid, just waiting for any kind of aggression from the CTs. Nico harassing the alternate mid, and Legia just waiting for that bedrooms push. So pretty standard stuff here from the terrorist side. Nothing really out of the ordinary, as we do see them try to go for a little bit more of a slow play here. They did go pretty aggressive at the beginning of the last round, pushing up Banana. And now they're just going to leave, let Tabson lead his way in. There's the bait from Nothing, trying to pull them up. He's still chipping away. He's done some good damage here. He's got Gabi down to 61, or 62, pardon me. Chris J on the other side of the map is down to 60 himself. So this stack, they still don't realize, is over there in that B bomb site. Shazam fighting for his life here. He's got Nico in Boiler Room, and Legia is up at the end of halls. So that bomb is going to rotate back over towards the A mid.
Right, and this is something very typical of Mousesports we'll see is early on in their rounds, they do like taking Banana control. They like getting aggressive over there, trying to find a pick in that way at Banana at the beginning portions of the round. And right here, they have a very good call coming back towards A in this 5-on-5. There's only one member here. That's Shazam in the back of the bomb site. He's going to try and hide and catch one off guard, but he is going to get one. He gets got, but he gets cleared out immediately after that by Nico. So now it's just going to be a game of exit kills.
Yeah, Nothing already over here by Library, just patiently waiting for this push from these terrorists to try to get something going for the CT side. And right around the corner is Sean Garris clearing out his moto. There is one very close in that backside of the site where Shazam lost his life. They do have one up there in Graveyard as well. So the crossfire is pretty strong here from Mouse. So I don't really expect C9 to get a whole lot out of this. But like you said, they are set up here for some exit kills. There's one in Boiler Room. That's going to be Tabson, who's working his way down mid. Might get caught out here by Simphis. No, Simphis not able to get it done. That SMG too strong. Finds the frag onto him, and now Nothing's going to pull in and try to... There it is. Tip, chat. Oh, one of them goes down at least. Legia survives with 7
Barely.
HP, and Tabson does find Shroud in the end. So that is going to be 3 rounds in a row now for Mousesports as we come into the first gun round.
Yeah, smart play from Nothing, too, to swing into that bomb site and just try and damage those players. You have to have a lot of HP to survive there with that bomb blast. So just dealing that damage, obviously it killed one, almost grabbed him a second one as well.
Yeah, and on a $300 investment with the P250 nonetheless, so pretty solid trade there as well. Even if he wasn't able to get the kill, he cost him a bit of an economy bonus there.
Yeah, and now an issue for Cloud9 is no kits on their side. So, not a lot of utility as well. Inferno known for being able to smoke off and Molotov the choke points, being able to delay those executions. They don't have all the utility they'd like to be able to do that. And this is going to allow Gob to kind of sneak in here, go for this entry. He grabs it onto Sean, one peeking from CT spawn, and he gets taken out by Tabson, so that's a B site cleared out. Now Nothing has got to come up huge. He does grab one. He grabs a second one back down to a 3-on-3. He equalizes it. And because of the no kits, they have to do this retake relatively quickly. They don't have a lot of time to waste here.
And here's the other side of it is look at how spread out Mouse is right now. They might be able to catch out Legia, and they do. Shroud's going to be able to find that kill. So now we're down to a 2 versus 3. But like you said, they have to work fast. No kits on the back of any of the CTs. And now all of the terrorists are over here in post-plant position. So some smokes coming out, some flashes as well. They've got one in Emo. They've got one here by Water. Nothing's going to go ahead and push in as well as Shroud. They're looking for this smoke play, and Shroud's going to be able to find Chris J. And he spins around and takes down Nico. Do they have time for the defuse? They do not. So the kits come back to bite him in the backside.
Yeah, I mean, that's brutal. And Shazam's going to get away here. So they do keep all 3 guns that they have at the moment, but that no kits it's just harsh. And it was a good retake, just not quick enough. And it seemed like actually they were looking for the default plant positioning, and Mouse actually planted at the back of the fountain, so that took a couple extra seconds off as well. But
yeah,
this is going to be a situation where they're going to force buy behind those 3 saved rifles, and they choose not to. They do drop weapons. Okay, so they did drop it right at the end of freeze time there. And once again, now they have 3 kits behind them. They have a little bit more smoke and flashbangs to use here, so they're in a pretty good spot, but they're down 4-0.
Right, you are, and that's a pretty big deficit early on this map. So we're going to see Sean Garris and Simphis trying to hold on to this B bomb site and trying to push through his Gabi. He's going to get the better of Sean Garris, who doesn't connect on that spray, and now Simphis on the verge of going down. He's going to take a tremendous amount of damage, 60 points. That's going to leave Shroud over on the other side of the site. Simphis does take down 1, but Shroud's going to be able to find 2, and that's going to leave it all on Tabson and Legia now. Legia all the way up in the apartments. He's kind of played that lurk role. He's going to come on out, and he does manage to take down Shroud, so that's a big player over there in the A bomb site that's now down and out. Nothing is remaining over here in this A bomb site. He's all the way over on Arch side, so Truck side has been completely yielded. They're going to go ahead and smoke off the moto. That's going to leave Tabson pretty much a clean avenue to try to get in here and get this bomb plant, and he's going to put it down a relatively default position over in this area. So Nothing hears the plant get tapped. He is going to be able to work his way up, and he's going to go all the way back around and drop a smoke here. What's this smoke going to be for? Truck. actually for the pit. So that's a smart smoke, going all the way over to alternate mid and dropping that smoke out, smoking out the pit guy. And that's going to make it more difficult. Leggy is going to have to get much more aggressive, and aggressive he will. He's going to be able to find Shazam, takes him down, and now they're coming around on the rotate. Simphis finds another one, but that bomb taken away, and Leggy has worked his way up. Not able to take him down just yet is nothing. Finally, he gets taken out, and that's going to be the defuse. So the first round on the board now for Cloud9, and it comes in the 5th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. That smoke by nothing was awesome. It smoked off the pit. It forces him into an awkward situation. Does get that first one. His teammate's not able to convert the kill. So Cloud9 showing 2 good retakes. Unfortunately, that round they had the kits and they had the time to defuse, unlike on that 4th round. So they do put their first round on the board. But with that plan, Mouse is going to be able to buy again. They've got a strong economy behind him.
Yeah, 7,500 on Chris J. He'll be able to drop tabs in this next round, so I expect at least an AK-47 across the board for them. They do have 6,200 on Legia. Could they drop the AWP to Chris J? Do you think it's wise for them to start AWPing here on the terrorist side?
It could be. Here's the thing. The first 2 gun rounds, they found, I said they were going to enjoy, they wanted to work B. They wanted to find some kills there. In these first 2 gun rounds, they've done exactly that. That round, this just previous round, a smoke that was thrown from Rap side was, it missed just a little bit. There was a gap that allowed Gob to get through it, allowed him to give the confidence to just run past that smoke. He was able to find that pick on Ashan there, and the round before that was when they just walked up onto B, and they caught that window before the defense drops the smokes in the choke point. So they're able to find these picks at B, and there's no reason for them to go away from that necessarily quite yet.
Yeah, and they've kind of found that fault early, like you said, over at B, and it's again, we've seen this before, a very Fnatic going in and doing these different strats like we saw in Cash about executing into the A bomb site with no smokes, no flashes, no anything, pushing out and taking the mid control on a map like Cash, whereas they just did that on Inferno. They didn't give them the opportunity. Usually you try to wait until you hear a footstep or wait until a spam comes out or something like that to drop that first smoke on the CT side to choke off that B bomb site so you can hold it as long as possible, because we've talked about this in previous casts. Right. That's 20 seconds ticked off the clock right there, that you really don't have to worry about it unless they push the smoke, and then they just go right into the grinder. So, and
the smokes start at B bomb site. Normally they start getting deployed, a little bit before the 1 minute mark hits. That's when it's really effective to run down that clock. So there is that window before that smoke plumes that teams can take advantage of, and they've done exactly that.
Yeah.
Also knowing in that 4th round, with the 2nd round bye, their economy's a little bit hurt, so they don't have every smoke, every Molotov, every nade that they want to delay that attack. So taking advantage of that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, advantage much so, because they were able to get into that B bomb site. And again, it was one of those rounds that if they had the kit on the CT side, it would have gone the complete opposite way. Shroud came up huge, got a nice pick on the lurker over in the A bomb site, was able to rotate out and pick off the last 2. But the bomb positioning, the plant from the terrorist side also being that factor, taking that extra 2 seconds to get over there, and just not allowing Cloud9 to have the time, have the ability to get into that site with a vengeance, right, and get it done. They waited for the rest of their players to make that rotation over, and that kind of cost them in the end, and not having that money for the kit,
Well, and this is also, we talked about how curious it is. We don't see teams often winning the knife round and picking T side on Inferno. Right. And we talked about their struggles they've had on their CT side. So we're seeing a little bit of why Mousesports wanted to start this T side. They obviously have some success finding those picks over towards B, and that's how they want to start this match off. They want to build some momentum on those picks that they know they can generate.
Yeah, and I mean, it's worked really well for him so far. I mean, you saw him take the pistol round in a relative easy fashion. I mean, nothing was really the only one that stood in their way. It came down to a 2v1 at the end for Sean Garris, but the resistance was really met with nothing, and that was basically it over at that A bomb site. It was really just the retake. They got a couple of picks on the retake and came down to that 2v1. But ever since then, they got the rifles, the SMGs, and they were able to put them to work in the first couple of rounds. And with the exception of that 5th round, Cloud9 really didn't have much of a reply for their terrorist side. So Mouse coming out swinging on the T side. And that's a big thing.
It's only been 2 rounds, so we haven't seen how Cloud9 wants to respond to this. We're starting to see what Mouse wants to establish on their offensive half, and I'd expect Sean is a very good in-game leader when it comes to counter-stratting opponents. He's been very good at that in the past, so I would expect at some point to see some kind of, whether it be 2 or 3 players, aggressive triple push over towards that banana, just to clear it out, to get Mouse feeling a little bit more nervous about heading into banana that early on.
Right. Yeah, a little bit of pre-nading, maybe an incendiary down to the bottom, or that smoke down to the bottom.
You need economy to do that. You need to be able to afford the smoke. You need to be able to afford the Molotovs.
$600 for the incendiary.
Right. So once they get their economy a little bit more stabilized, they're going to have a lot more options open to them.
Absolutely. And it looks like we do have Simphis back in the server. He dropped. He had a little bit of a PC problem, so we should be getting this one live here in a minute. I think we got to hit it with a match medic real quick and get his money situation back the way that it's supposed to be. And then we should be right back into this one. 4-1 is the score line right now. Mal's in the lead by 3. And C9 trying to make their bid on their CT side right now. And, you know, I'm taking a look at the scoreboard. Obviously, you guys can't see it because you got to look at our ugly mugs for a little bit. But slow start for Sean Garrison and Shazam so far. Now, Shazam, obviously, they haven't had the economy to put the AWP in his hands. So that's definitely a factor. Big-time offer for the North American scene. The dedicated offer for Cloud9. And, you know, we want to see him get that op in hand and see how he can control certain avenues on the CT side, going for the quick pick down mid, going for the quick pick at B. And that's another thing. You know, we talked about how Mouse has been hitting that B bomb site early, putting that pressure on. Do you think that they should give that off to Shazam and have him go out for that early pick, try to get that early aggression and counter, you know, the way that they're going aggressive up banana?
I think the best solution to countering that aggression up banana is just to get the Molotovs in your hands, to throw them, so that they know in the future if they want to go back to that B aggression, you want to force them off of it. You want to get them out of their comfort zone, because obviously Mouse really feels comfortable just coming up banana, you know, not feeling too challenged there. And to slow that down with some Molotovs, to slow it down with a little bit of a push, make them a little bit more tentative so that they have to be cautious taking banana, and then go forward from there. And that's when you can start getting the op in Shazam's hands, and you can start making him mobile. You know, put him over at car at B1 round, put him in mid 1 round, put him in halls. You know, let him get his picks wherever he wants, wherever he's feeling comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But the first things first, you have to stop that fast banana play for Mousesports.
Absolutely. So, like we said before, just waiting for the money to get right here on the C9 side, and then we should be able to get right back into this one. But let's talk about the next map that's going to be coming up, because you said that, you know, NA loves cash. And that's something like I've said that Cash is the new Dust 2, because it almost gets played equally, if not more, than Dust 2 does these days. You know, and it's one of those maps that I think it's a great map. Now, I don't come from a Source background. I come from a 1.6 background, so I was new to Cash. I think actually it's kind of funny. The first time I ever played Cash, I was playing an ESEA pug, and I had FNS on my team.
Okay.
And you know, he was super nice to pug with, because he was showing me the map and everything, and I was kind of blown away, because I was like, this map is very similar to like a Dust 2, where you've got all these different avenues of attack, the quick rotations and everything like that, which is real nice. But it's interesting to say, because the Europeans, they haven't really played that map as a big-time competitive map the way that North Americans have, so it's always been kind of dubbed the NA map of choice when it comes to tournaments and everything. But it's kind of gotten flipped upside down now that you know, we see the Euros picking it a lot more.
The Europeans are very good at it. Fnatic's very good on it. We just saw Virtus Pro play a very good match against the Highland in that last best of 3. So, I mean, you can't really call it a North American map anymore, even though it might have started out that way a little bit. But it's just a map.
We still have season.
But, you know, part of it too is we've had all these recent roster changes in North America. So, you know, these teams have only been able to. We've only been able to practice so many maps. You know, these teams have only been able to get so many maps comfortable with.
Right.
And right now, Cash is one of those that they just feel strong on. You know, we saw it even at events this past week, and in you know, in some of the best of 3s we hold online. It's just Cash is always a favorite.
All right. Well, on that note, I believe we're going to take a quick break while we try to match medic this this match real fast, and we'll be right back in a couple minutes for you guys. Hang tight. Alrighty, guys, sorry about that delay. We are back in the action, and we are live in the server. The score, I'm sure, at the top will update in a moment, but it is 4-1 in favor of Mousesports, who are on the terrorist side. Gabi going to open things up. It is a quick push in towards that A bomb site. You can see how fast it was. Still 1 minute and 5 seconds on the clock. Symphis going to be able to find Legia Chris J into Shazam. Symphis finds another one. That new computer doing wonders, but Gabi's going to spam him down from the A bomb site. Takes him out. And now it's all down to nothing in Sean Garris on this 2 versus 3 retake. Post-plant situation and only 1 kit to deal with. That's going to be nothing. He's actually looking like he wants to save, so he's going to fall all the way back towards the B-bomb site. They're going to hang on to their rifles to live to fight another day, but it is going to be a 5-1 scoreline for Mousesports, and this is already starting to be a bit of an onslaught from the German side.
Yeah, and it's part of it is because they're getting the opening pick pretty consistently. The CT win rate for Cloud9 on this map when they lose the player first is only 50%. And they're really struggling to come back from losing that first player. They're getting spread out defensively. Mouse is being very – they have a lot of conviction in how they're taking map control once they get that pick. They're being very aggressive with how they take over portions of the map, and that's really causing Cloud9 a lot of issues. That round, that save was forced. A smoke just plumed in the choke point as they were getting ready to retake, and that delay was just too much for them to stick around. So now they are, with saving 2 rifles, there are going to be another force buy. So they haven't been forced to fully eco yet. So that's a good thing, I guess.
I suppose. But again, that's going to be coming down to Nothing, who's the lone kit for the CT side. Well, actually, Simphis just picked one up. So not too bad. They do have 2 kits, and Simphis is going to be all the way over at the B bomb site. Nothing sitting over here in CT spawn. Let's see where this smoke goes. This is a new angle. I haven't really seen this one before, but it's probably going to be at the top side of Banana. I'm willing to put money on that. Just waiting for him to dispatch of this one. Tabson is all the way up at the top side of Banana. So there it is. That is going to choke things off. And that is a one less smoke they have to use at the B bomb site, and that's actually going to be Simphis, who does have a smoke out there, and Sean Garris, who also has a smoke and a Molotov. But Nico's going to be able to find Shazam to open up the round, and that is a pick in the A bomb site. So that bomb is actually, well, I thought they were going to go for the commitment up towards mid, but as of right now, that bomb, which is on the back of Chris J, slowing things down. It looks like they want to maybe lurk their way back over towards the B bomb site, but no rotation has been made here from the CT forces. Now that bomb is working its way up towards mid. Chris J joining up with the remainder of his team, Gabi and Legia. Nico up in that area. Legia up here in Hall is going to throw some flashbangs out, try to distract Shroud in a very familiar spot. He's been so strong playing from pit in the past season. We'll see if he can lock it down here. But that bomb's still down at the bottom side of mid, Moses.
Yeah, and they're applying a lot of pressure at mid right now. Their presence is very well known, and they're also going to start. There's 20 seconds left, so they're going to have to hit this A bomb side. No chance to go back towards B, and they're going to hit the wrap side. Nothing gets that opening kill. Simphis gets taken out by Nico, though. He only had a C9, and there's Shroud in the pit chiming in. So it is going to be this 2-on-2 or 3-on-2 as they enter the A bomb site. There's Nothing in the back of it, just doing some work. The bomb's going to be being planted right now by Chris J, so that's a victory, but 8 HP and a 2-on-1. He's stuck in the middle of the site. He's got no cover. We'll have to see. He needs to pull out some magic here, but Sean keeping him frozen in that position, and eventually takes him out. So that's going to be a second round for Cloud9, and they handled that scary situation very, very well. And we talked about 50% when they lose the first player. Shazam falls there, and they win the round. So that's good work from them, but at the same time, they've lost 2 gun rounds in those same situations, so that 50% is working out very well.
Yeah, and again, I kind of spoke about it coming into that round about how strong Shroud is from the pit. He actually picked up 2 frags from there because they didn't manage to clear it out. And again, that's such a strong position on the CT side. A lot of times you'll actually see a double pit setup, one on the balcony and one playing from behind the Jesus pole or whatever it is, the flag pole that you want to call it down there in the bottom side of pit. And Shroud, he's just been so strong playing that position all season. And also in many lands that we've seen as well. So coming up big, picking up 2 big frags from there with that AK, and you know, he's just so lethal once he has an AK-47 in hand. We'll see if he can do it again this round.
Yeah, and here's some of that banana aggression we're talking about. Cloud9 eventually going to be busting out. Sean pushes up, makes his presence known, spams through the smoke, does a little bit of damage, and now he's going to be left alone. He does have 1 smoke to work with once this one clears. He's going to be forced to play a little bit defensively, just hoping, and now we're going to see the Terrors kind of start reconvening towards middle. They couldn't find anything over at B, so they come back here where they found Shazam in the last round. Smoke just plumes in middle and forces them off.
Oh. A little close for comfort right there.
Timing
Chris
was
J,
wonderful.
that AWP, he has picked it up now. And we talked about this a little bit before when we had that little bit of a break there. If they were going to put that up pressure on the back of Chris J and try to make something happen with it, looks like they're going to pick up that bomb and work back towards that B bomb site. So this is going to be on Sean Garris and Simphis. Simphis playing from the CT spawn. He's only got the FAMAS in hand. There's the smoke and the flashes. Sean Garris actually blinded by Simphis. That's going to be okay. That push not yet coming in. They're going to go ahead and smoke off the CT spawn and still waiting to push on through. They're going to walk it in. And actually, Chris J is getting in a good position. They molly out Sean Garris and get the pick on him as well. And Simphis goes down. Nico's going to be able to find that frag, but Nico burns in the Molotov, and that bomb has been dropped. Shazam's going to be able to chime in, takes down 1, so it's a 2 versus 3. The retake is on now from the CT side. Shroud coming around from CT spawn, along with Shazam. Nothing working his way through construction. It's all 3 of them coming from the same spot, so Gabi is going to have to come up absolutely lethal for his side. Shroud finds 1. Coming around the corner now. Shroud's going to pick up the last one, and that is going to be a 3rd round for Cloud9.
Yeah, and Shroud's having such a good half so far, 11-5. He's going to get this defuse, but some of these kills that he's gotten are just huge impacts for his team, bailing them out of some sticky situations there, watching their flank as one player tried to come through the smoke. But once again, over at B, Mousesports is finding a lot of success. They're getting those trades, so finally maybe a little bit of a save round here for Mousesports coming out.
Yeah, some breathing room for Cloud9.
No, actually
maybe.
not at all. They
Gabi.
buy up the AK, they buy up the Tech 9s and armors late in the round, so they have 1 rifle, 3 Tech 9s, and Nico only had $300 that round. He just picks up a P250.
Yeah, burning himself alive, kind of a costly mistake in the last round, but we'll see whether or not they can put these pistols to use. And again, we talked about that aggression before, and look at the nade damage on the Nico, and there's the opening pick. Sean Garris with the M4 is going to find one. The counter flash is coming around the corner, but they're going to go ahead and push in. Gabi with the AK finds one. Legia goes down. Sean Garris burns another one. That's a quad for him on the round. Can he get Chris J for the ace? And he gets the ace. Sean Garris stepping up when he needs to. A 5K mowdown at the B-bomb site.
Yeah, beautiful fight to take in that choke point as they run through the molly. So he's able to just deal so much damage with the fire and then just spray him down from there on. So there's that aggression on Banana. Deal the damage as they're trying to work their way up. They're catching on to what Mousesports likes to do, and they're getting some free damage dealt before the execute even comes in. But you got to say, once again, Mousesports still finding success there, picking off Semphis. If it's not for that wonderful play by Sean, that ace in that situation, they're in some trouble at that site.
Absolutely. But see, again, like you talked about that early, that nade damage down Banana at the beginning of the round that knocked Nico down very, very low. And here they go back in towards the B-bomb site. And again, Sean Garris opening it up, getting that early pick onto Chris J. He was actually mollied out, forced him up Banana. So an early pick in the favor of Cloud9. And if they continue this route, then they could be onto a very good half and turn this thing around. Mousesports was up by a margin of, I believe, 5-1 at one point. Sean Garris, another and a third. He is a monster right now. That's 8 kills in 2 rounds. And there's still more work to be done. Nico in the Mexi pit down in the bottom side of middle. Semphis coming around the corner is going to be able to find one and the second one. A 5-man stand for the CT side, and that's what they need to have happen if they want to get back in this one, get that economy rolling.
Yeah, precisely. And Sean being aggressive at B, you said it, he's having a great couple of rounds here. So Shroud had some big impact kills, gave him some breathing room, and now we see Sean starting to get into it, closing down B a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see how Mouse decides to go forward from here because they've been shut down over there for the past couple rounds, and we actually see Chris J buy a scout here. Not the money, he doesn't have the money for the AWP, so he picks up a scout.
And just to point out a fact, Sean Garris was 1-5 2 rounds ago. Now sitting at 9-5, and actually the top scorer on his team after getting the ace in the 3K, and they're going to go for full aggression here in a Banana again, pushing down in the Molotov. Sean Garris, he's got no fear right now. The man is an absolute animal at the Banana hallway, and he has been flexing his guns. Yeah. I thought that was a good one. Sorry, I cracked myself up.
Look at this setup. There's Sean again, just opening things up at B.
Smoke.
Right, and Mouse seems very dedicated to this kind of B control here at the beginning portions of the round, and Cloud9's been shutting it down. A double nade, a coordinated mid nade from Cloud9 is going to force him back a little bit. Shroud almost gets caught with a flashbang in his hand, but he's going to peek with it. He's going to get a nice shot with the AK-47. Nothing chiming in with the assist. And now Mouse has kind of been shut down a little bit. It's a 5-on-3. No damage has been dealt to Cloud9, and they're just going to come up mid. Shroud's going to drop one. He gets traded off, and so does Shazam with that AWP. Not able to have an impact quite yet. It's just Semphis left in the graveyard.
Yeah, but nothing's rotated around on the Arch side. They smoke it off and maybe think their strategy a little bit differently. But Semphis playing in this area is going to be very strong. But it looks like this terrorist side of Mouse, they're actually working their way back towards B. And look at this read on Cloud9. Both Nothing and Sean Garris working their way back around to the B bomb site. And this is exactly what they need to do in this situation. They're going to be able to isolate the 2v2. But unfortunately, that Molotov going over to B is going to hold them over in that area. And now it's all on Semphis, who's still holding from Graveyard. If he stays in this position, he's going to put himself into a prime spot to get this round win. He's going to peek out. That smoke comes out. He spams one down. Can he get the second one through the smoke? And he gets it done. Semphis coming up big in the late game. Takes him down, and that is Cloud9's first lead of the matchup, 6-5.
Yeah, such a hard spot to clear out, especially with the clock running down like that. And a couple nice frags out of Semphis there, so smart play. And it was a good read. To go back to B, they brought 2 players there, and you could see they were shuffling where they wanted the lean to that defense in that mid-round situation to be. And, eventually they stayed over at B, but Semphis just comes up huge for him. And that's kind of what we've seen out of Cloud9 is these individual players are stepping up on their spots of the map and just shutting things down.
And the patience from
Shazam.
Semphis last round. Beautiful shot from Shazam. He's been relatively quiet so far this matchup, but if he can get that AWP firing, he's going to be dangerous over here on the Arch side of mid. And as of right now, he is able to open things up. Now, it is going to be an eco round here for the terrorist side, but they are relatively invested here. They picked up some armor.
Yeah, now we're seeing coming up mid on this eco round, trying to spam through the smoke. Shroud's going to get tagged, but he is going to spray one down. And 2 players caught in the arches. This could be big. If Legia can get one of these, he swings wide. Semphis falls, but Nothing comes in to support him. It sprays down those last 2 players. So quickly back up to 7-9 or 7-5 for Cloud9. They've taken control of this half. Ever since we came back from that pause, it's been all Cloud9. One round initially won by Mousesports, but since then, Cloud9 all the way.
Yeah, and you can see pretty much across the board, fragging as a team with the exception of Shazam, who's been, like I said, relatively quiet, but he got the AWP, the opening pick, and that's a huge advantage going in towards the later stages of the round. And you can see how frantic they were trying to make their way up mid. Shroud gets the kill through the smoke, does a little bit more damage. They do manage to overwhelm Shazam and do some damage, and now they're going to spam through an alternate mid, and there you go. Shazam switching up his position here, actually goes for the mid pick, and he gets Gabi, takes him down, and again, that man advantage going the way of the CT side of Cloud9. Now, I'm sure you probably have a statistic somewhere. What kind of a percentage win rate for the CT side for Cloud9 do they have when they get the opening pick?
77% win rate when they get that first pick, so that pick by Shazam gives them great odds going forward, and that's what that AWP can be used for, is getting that first pick. And then, look, he's playing passive now, so he's not giving anything back. We've seen him a couple rounds here on Inferno get caught out. Even some of the other Cloud9 players as well, but they've all kind of taken that man advantage, and they've played a little bit more safely now. So they're going to force Mouse into an execute. They're going to force him into something, but they're not giving up any picks back to him.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to slowly bring that bomb over towards the B bomb site. And again, this is them switching up the tempo again. We've seen them go full aggression down Banana. This time they're going to go full passive. They're going to allow the terrorists to try to work their way in. But Chris J already popping a shot, so they know that they're making their way up into this area. They do manage to smoke off Spools, and this is really going to be on Simpus, who isn't going to be able to get anything, but nothing from Spools is going to be able to spray down too. That's going to leave Legia and Nico by themselves in this bomb site. Sean Garris goes down. Unfortunately, not able to get the refrags onto him. Shazam coming around the corner, and this is going to be Shroud, who gets instantly taken down, and Nico finishes it off. So a 2 versus 4 in the B bomb site, and it comes to fruition. Mousesports getting their 6th round on Terrorist.
Yeah, and keeping their focus, even though they took that B bomb site and they cleared it out with 2 kills, prepared for Sean to flash through the smoke and run through it like that. It accomplished nothing, and it actually put his team in a very bad spot. One-on-ones across the board when they tried to make that retake happen. So great round for Mouse, and once again, success at the B bomb site. When they've been shut down over there towards that side of the map, they've had some struggles going back towards mid, and they've been mowed down quite often. So this B bomb site is really, really where they want to find their rounds.
Absolutely, and again, here you go with a little bit of peaks going out, and Sean Garris behind the car is going to be looking for Gabi, who's actually going to fall on back. That one-way smoke not going to be too effective this round, and you can see, again, Legia, he's been playing this area in apartments almost every single round in the early stages to try to flush them out and try to get an early opening pick, but not going to be able to find anything right now, and now it's nothing that's going to be playing. He's actually up on the railing outside of Graveyard, so a well-timed flash through the truck side could catch him out, and Legia might be able to get that pick, but Shroud's going to go to battle with one in Boiler Room. That's going to be Nico. And the exchange of damage, Shroud comes out on top, 43-29.
And this is where I would expect that Gob is over here at B trying to cause some kind of distraction, trying to find something. It just gets smoked off, so he's going to be forced back for another 12 seconds or so. And across the board, they haven't really made any progress. They're going to smoke off for Appside, so that's Shazam's AWP. He might try and spam through it. He's just going to throw a nade, and he's going to fall off. That's a Molotov, actually, and Chris J eats a lot of it. And it's going to slow them down from taking control of those brackets, and they just play passively into the bomb site now. Once this execute comes up mid, they're letting the clock run down. 30 seconds left, and they're not giving any picks up to Mouse right now.
Yeah, nothing repositioning himself into pit. That nade does some good damage onto Nico. He's now down to 16. If they try to commit over towards the lane side, they're going to have a bad time. But Gabi finds one. Shroud gets in on the action, but Tabson trades him out instantaneously. Shazam now over from Library. He's going to be joined by his teammates, and that's going to be Simphus taking down Nico. So it's a 2 versus 3, pardon me, as it's Tabson that falls next. Shazam getting in on the action. And Legia, he's your last man standing, but he's lethal with the AK. Finds another one. Simphus over here on truck side trying to make something happen. Smokes off the pit. The flashes come through, and he works his way out. He blinds Sean Garris. It's a 1v3. Can he make it happen? Simphus, your last man standing for the CT side. Over the smoke, Simphus gets it done. And Cloud9 live to fight another day, 8-6.
What a one-on-one to win by Simphus, and almost a fantastic one. I think that flash actually blinded Sean at small pit, and Simphus coming up late. It was a beautiful flash through that smoke, the underhanded.
Right in the middle of the smoke.
Not able to convert it, but that was an absolutely massive round for Simphus to win for his team.
Yeah. Brings that momentum right back in their favor. That's a big round. Even though it comes down to a 1v1, the amount of confidence that you take out of winning that is huge. And look at this, a double scope setup on the CT side. So Sean Garris working his way over towards the B bomb site, maybe going for an early banana pick. I don't see, they actually do smoke off the bottom of banana. So if the T's do get aggressive and try to push through that, he could make them pay on it.
And this is a pretty cool trick because it's the last round of the half. They haven't done this yet. So just for one round, they're going to bust it out, try and catch him a little bit off guard. But no one going over towards that second op over at B. And the issue is, if they get a plant today, if they get a plant anywhere, these ops are a little bit weak on the retake. So they're going to have to find some success early on. And there it is. Sean Garris not expecting that op over at B. They walk into his crosshairs down banana, and he picks one off.
Yeah, and again, beautiful job. C9 switching up the pace. Shroud's going to get on the action. Nico down and out with that nade fragger, in the words of Sadicus, the Pokeball kill. Sorry, had to bust it out one time for the cast, but that's going to be the last time, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize ahead of time. We are going to be seeing a little bit of an execution here towards the B-bomb site. Legia is going to be lurking over in the A halls. He does only have a Tech 9, so a very limited buy here. The broken economy on Mouse, and Cloud9 has done such a great job. And again, if Legia would have won that round, in the last round, that 1v3, we could be looking at a very, very different situation. Chris J, though, opens it up in the B-bomb site, but Simphis is there for the trade.
Yeah, and what a read. They bring 2 players over, so they had 3 over at B, and now Legia's got to pick off this flanker. It's Shroud, but he doesn't win the battle. Gob does. Now he's got 1 to deal with. Nothing's just going to swing and peek. He's going to stay aggressive, and Gob gets caught with a flashbang in his hand, so that's going to be the half. 9-6 for Cloud9, and Cloud9 was very dominant after that, after he came back from that short pause.
Yeah, I believe, like we said, they were down
5-1, 4-1, or it was 5 something.
It was 4-1, maybe 5-1 or 5-2, and then they brought it back to a 9-6. So only allowing 1 more gun round victory for Mousesports as that half went on, and a solid job from Cloud9 getting it done. So
here's what's pretty scary too. I mentioned before we started, Mouse on the CT side of Inferno haven't won double-digit CT rounds yet in the recorded matches.
Well, they need exactly that.
And they need exactly 10. So this is we'll have to see what they have up their sleeve. And actually, we were questioning that. During the pause, we talked to Fifth Laren a little bit, and we were saying it's interesting. We don't see often winning the knife round and picking T side, and they said Mouse will actually do this. They've done this before.
Yeah.
So he was like, that didn't surprise him at all. So
yeah, Simler said the same thing, that they often actually opt to go for that side and try to make it happen. And it paid off for him early on. They got to that 4-1 scoreline. It was looking bad for C9, but then they had that had the FPS issue and the computer swap and the lag out and everything like that, so they were able to, regain their composure, come back in, and they came back swinging.
Well, Sean really spurs that comeback. Well, once they started having that aggression down Banana with the nades, the Molotovs, dealing damage on the way up Banana on the side of Mouse, Cloud9 was really able to shut down all the success that they had at B, and we could see they really struggled once that happened.
Exactly. So, again, it's one of those kind of situations where you look to your IGL, and, I mean, he was fragging. He picked up a number of frags in a couple of rounds. Now, he didn't end as the top fragger. I think he had 11 or 12 kills at the end of the half, but he was sitting at 1-5 before he started that onslaught of the B-bomb site, and that was absolutely huge. That just helped C9 regain their composure, helped them push forward as they were able to string together, 8 more rounds in the end of that first half.
Yeah, ended it very strong, and that's all Sean's reading. And you said it, over those 2 rounds when we came back, he had like 8 or 9 kills in those 2 rounds. He got that ace, and then he got 3 or 4 more the next round.
Yeah,
so.
the 3K. And then to cap it off the round after that headshot through the smoke at the bottom of Banana as well. So he was feeling it for a couple of rounds, and that just spurred on the rest of his team. And you saw Shroud. I mean, his consistency playing over there on the truck side, playing from pit, and getting 1, 2, maybe 3 kills each time that they tried to come towards the A bomb site, and really shutting down those pushes and forcing Mouse to, okay, well, we're getting shut down at the truck side. They tried to go for the wrap on CT side. Nothing, shut that down with back-to-back kills, and then trying to make their way up in towards the B bomb site. And that was when Sean Garris, his time to shine. So across the board, really, after that pause, able to shut it down on the CT side and string together a reasonable half. Now, both sides probably, they have to both be pretty happy with this. I mean, 6 rounds on the T side, that's not a bad half. A 9-6 scoreline, you're not really upset with that on the CT side either.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine Cloud9 being happy with only 9 rounds on CT side. Now, they're happy, obviously, with how it ended, because they came back and they put a long string of wins together. But to be happy with 9 rounds, you want to see a little bit more out of your CT side. And transitioning over to the Terrace half, they have a 53% win rate on the Terrace side of Inferno, or excuse me, not 53. They have a 38% win rate. It's 53 of 138 total rounds that we've recorded. So, they struggle at times on the T side of Inferno, and this is where Sean's going to have to come up huge, because he is kind of our demo nerd here in North America. He's the guy who watches all the demos. He's the guy who's very good at anti-stragging. If you ever listen to him cast, he's very intelligent with reading how these teams are playing, and it's going to be up to him to read it on the fly here and come up with a winning solution for Cloud9. And the question we always ask with Cloud9 is, which one's going to show up? Is it going to be the one that's prepared for these events? Have they put the time in? On this map specifically at the last major with their listen-ins, we saw some players at times, strats were called, and they're questioning what they're going to do. And have they nailed that down coming into this event?
Well, we'll see here as they go onto the terrorist side for C9, and if they can get it done in the pistol round, that's really going to put them in the driver's seat going forward. And like you said, Mouse not that strong on their CT side. They are going to go for the early aggression here, the mid-peek from Gabi, and that's going to be Sean Garris right around the corner. Are they going to go for the peek? They're going to pop some shots around here. Sean Garris goes ahead and strafes out. Lands a shot there onto Gabi, but Simphis is the one that opens it up. Taps in down and out. I believe that was some apartment aggression. Gabi is going to be able to take down Sean Garris, but that push is coming all the way towards balcony. Legia is over here, but the flank from Gabi, he's going to be able to find another one. Chris J goes into Shazam, and this is all going to be the spam down onto Legia here in the A-bomb site. Can they eliminate him and get that bomb plant? As of right now, they can't really do it, and Legia is going to be able to capitalize. He does take down Shroud, and now it's all on nothing in that 1 versus 3. Very tough situation for him. They're going to swing. They smoke him off, and now he's got to rethink his strategy. He's going to work his way out around the smoke, and he falls. Legia is going to be able to spam him down with the 5-7, and Mousesports right back in this one.
Yeah, what a wonderfully aggressive play by Gabi at the beginning to get that pick and mid with the pop flash, run into Halls and kind of flank behind him, get another kill, but also the window of opportunity that created for Legia to get into the bomb site, find positioning behind that box was crucial. He gets there, he stops the plan. He doesn't allow them to gain any kind of positioning inside the site, and he's able to get a couple kills because of it and wins the pistol round.
Yeah, and again, like you said, Gabi, that was a ballsy play there. I mean, he got the pick in mid, I believe it was onto Sean Garris, and then just spun around, went right up in Boiler Room, and flanked him out in Halls. And a great read from him. And unfortunately, it looked like he was going to get more than that, but nothing was able to spin around and get that kill. And, you know, Cloud9 gave it a fighting chance, but, you know, obviously Mousesports, that smoke on the balcony, that was really what sealed the fate there. And holding that nade for so long.
Well, they just handled the rotations so very well. When they had the information, when Gabi flanks, he sees both of them in the halls. They see the bomb obviously coming out mid. So the rotations into that bomb site, you know, sometimes you'll see these rotations come in and they get stuck towards library, stuck towards small pit, but it's so crucial that Legia actually ran into the bomb site and took that position.
Right. And at first, it didn't look like he was going to. He was just kind of biding his time there on Moto Wall. But like you said, he did work his way in behind spammable box. And then once he got the frag onto Shroud, he was able to switch it up and get behind like the old Moto spot where he had the big round against, I think it was SK back in 1.6. Sorry, I'm living in the past, boys and girls. But nevertheless, we are back into the action. We had a brief pause, some audio issues on the Mouse side. So it is going to be an armor buy here from the from the Cloud9 side. It's going to be some Tech 9s and some P250s. So we'll see if they can put them to work, Moses.
Yeah, and right now they're just playing it very slow. They have taken control of Halls. On their CT side, they didn't kind of have any sort of Halls presence whatsoever as a defense. And here on Terra side, they've taken it over at the moment. And that's Shroud and Semphis in there. And they're waiting for any kind of push. And on the other hand, you know, all across the board, it's just silent from Cloud9, waiting to see if there's any kind of aggression, any kind of peek. They're just spread out. Shanzel boosted. He's trying to peer over the smoke, not able to find anything. They do a tiny bit of, no, they don't. They don't even do any damage. So
they got a lot of information, though.
A little bit of information.
Wow. Potato, potato. Gabi is in a good position here to pick off Semphis. Should they decide to go ahead and push up through the halls, but Shroud still holding steady. They're trying to go for this distraction over at the B-bomb site. They do finally smoke it off and lay a little spam down. Still no damage to be spoken of on either side. And remember, still at 100 HP. Now they finally decide to resign from the B-bomb site. They have pulled a little bit of a rotation from Chris J, so he's going to be over here playing from library with that MP9. So we'll see if he can get it done here, but that push is going to be coming towards the A-bomb site. And there it is. Semphis opens things up with the P250 shot onto Gabi. He does get aggressive, and now it's all going to be on Tapson over here in the site with his teammate Chris J. And there's the first frag. There's the second frag, and now Chris J is going to go ahead and swing out, and they line up, and Tapson and Chris J lighting them up in this A-bomb site. And that's going to leave it all on nothing. Who's hiding behind this smoke? Legia around the corner, lays the dink out. He can't get it done. Coming around from behind is Nico. And somehow they managed to salvage that round on the CT side with only one casualty.
Right, they actually used a pop flash in Hall to try and clear that out, get that information. The pop flash missed. Semphis wasn't blind at all, so he gets that opening kill, and from there they throw another pop flash into lane. That one works beautifully. Tapson able to mow down multiple enemies with that SMG, so able to clean him up in the lane attack. Almost getting pinched, and we're seeing here in this third round, now all 5 of them have the MP7s and the MP9s.
All right, you are. So we're going to see whether or not they can lay it down. But again, this is something that we've seen a couple of times, that nade down mid, not going to find anything. But look at how aggressive these CTs are right now. They have taken over complete mid control. Chris J is going to find the first 2. That's going to be Shroud and Shazam going down. Nico going to be able to find another one. And that leaves Semphis, your last man standing, trying to rush on out the halls. And he's going to get cleaned up. Gabi with the final frag. And we're all square at 9.
Yeah, and a beautiful.
It's over before it started.
And I'm actually a little bit surprised that they're upgrading so much those SMGs. We did see a team recently after this buff keep all 5 members with SMGs going into the first gun round. And Cloud9, important thing to note, no plants in those first 3 rounds. They do have AK-47s, but only smokes on Shroud, Shazam, Sean Garrett. No nades, no Molotovs, no flashbangs, only nothing as a grenade. Sempus has a flashbang, so not a whole lot of utility to work with on this offensive side.
Exactly, and there's the Molotovs coming down. Legia and Sean Garrett are going to go to battle here, and Legia is going to win that one with very little damage being dealt on the right back to him. And Nico actually down to about the same HP, 73 and 72 respectively for those 2 CTs, the Germans. And
crucially, they fall back after getting that pick. They don't want to give any trade back right away, so they fall back into B. They know they can just smoke off this choke point. They're waiting for that 1 minute mark. You can see Nico has one in his hands at the moment. And now Cloud9, after having no success over towards B, they're all grouped up. You know, Sempus and Shroud, once again, taking over halls. You're going to see that often. They like to take over those halls so they can have that kind of control, and that's where they can base some strats from. And Nico hears a little bit of noise and drops that smoke. So now Cloud9's got to find out what they want to do. They have 2 players spread out on each side of the map, one towards B now, one picking up the bomb back on T-Ramp. And they haven't decided anywhere to go, and this is such a passive setup from Mousesports. They're not going to be able to find a pick. You see the A players now falling back and doing a double pit. Chris J in the library, so they're going to force and execute so that they can know exactly where to rotate. They're not going to give up any picks that would weaken or spread out the defense.
Absolutely. So that bomb, it's still cautious. They still haven't worked any. They have no map control whatsoever on the terrorist side. They are going to finally try to work their way up towards brackets at the top side of mid and maybe go porch side, but that double pit stack is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they've only got 14 seconds to do this. They have to get up here and get into the site. Gabi's trying to make a bid for it. Tapson as well. They do manage to sneak Shazam. I can't even talk right now. He is going to be able to get that bomb planted, but there's still 2 players in the pit to deal with. Tapson and Gabi. He's spamming his life away. Shazam trying to find one. He's not able to do it. And Molotov a little bit off the mark, so Shazam's going to be able to bide his time a little while longer, but Tabson's going to be able to find nothing. Simpus up in the halls, and Gabi finds another one, and that's going to leave it all on Simpus, who falls, and Mouse pick up the first gun round on the back of Gabi's MP9.
Yeah, now he could even upgrade to an AK-47 if he chooses to, or to a Colt. He does pick up a teammate's Colt, so a great round by Mousesports. They played that defense wonderfully, getting that pick and just falling back and being passive. And you said it, no map control. Cloud9 was so passive after losing that initial player that once the clock starts running out of 30 seconds, they have so much ground to gain before they can get into that bomb site. And Mouse, like I said, just played it passively and forced them into that execute. Was able to just stay alive in pit, and they just didn't have the manpower to throw at it to clear that out, and therefore the post-plant positionings were very, very weak.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and move on forward here as we come into the next round, the 5th round of the second half. And Mousesports once again in the lead, and Nico's going to be able to open things up onto Shroud. So that early aggression again paying dividends for them. But look at that, both Nico and Leggy are very, very critically injured. And Chris J was actually over in the B-bomb site to support as well. But unfortunately, no trade being made there from the CT side, or from the terrorist side of Cloud9. So they're going to have to bide their time a little while longer, and they actually rotate Leggy off, one of the critically wounded members over there in that B-bomb site, and leave Chris J to try to pick up that slack. He's playing from spools. Now they're going to work their way back around towards maybe doing that double stack in the backside of the site. Actually, Chris J's just going to sit here at emo New Box, pardon me, and wait for this push to come in, and it is coming. That counter flash blinds Shazam, and now the terrorists have to make their bid. And Chris J actually goes down right at the very beginning. If they can trade this out, Nico goes down, so that B-bomb site has been yielded. The spam through the smoke, that's going to be Leggy. He's got to be careful, only 17 HP, and Chris J going to quickly work his way around through the, or pardon me, that was Gabi. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. That Molotov, going to be a good one, but nothing is going to be able to push the smoke. Takes down Tabson, and now it's all on Gabi and Legia. They try to make a bid for this one. It's a 4 versus 2, and in this situation, they should just fall back and save. It's going to be tied up 10-10 after this one's over, barring any craziness.
Yeah, they have the economy, though, to stick around and try and get some exit frags. Don't let them out of the bomb site, because Cloud9 doesn't have a lot of money behind this, so if they're able to get 2 or 3 kills, maybe force a couple to get blown up with the bomb, and there's one. And Gob's going to stay around, keep him here. He's going to get one more, and even Sean might blow up to the bomb. I don't know if he'll get far enough away. And he does, just barely 8 HP, but 3 kills behind that. They're going to have to drop some weapons, so their economy is still very weak, and this is a very good opportunity for Mousesports to reset the money of Cloud9. You're going to see a Galil in the hands of Sean here, and they are able to pick up a pretty decent buy in terms of grenades behind it.
Yeah, but this is going to be a complete and utter full buy from the CT side. You can see Chris J actually with the AWP for the first time on the CT side, and he's going to be looking for this mid pick. Trying to gather a little bit of information, but it looks like it's going to be a quick push from the terrorist side. They beat the Molotovs. They're going to go for it. Legia and Nico, though, going to be able to find the first frag onto Sean Garris. Look at that, the split, and the Molotovs actually saves Shazam's life.
they're doing that on purpose. They want to trap a player. They did that last round. They want to trap a player between a nice pop flash from his teammate is going to allow Nico to get another pick. So they're up 5-on-3 here. But they're doing that gap on purpose so that players can't go forward and can't fall back. So when they swing onto the fight, they know exactly where they're going to be.
Gotcha. Well, a little bit of knowledge goes a long way, and I had no idea. So that's why they pay you the big bucks, Moses.
I know. No, but it is very good Molotov play out of them.
So conceited.
And these 2 picks they have now are going to give them such a great position into this round, and now they can just play this very static. They're even going to rotate a third over towards B because Cloud9 is still keeping up the pressure here, and they're going to execute through the smoke. Semphis just running through towards CT spawn, going to try and wrap around it, but Chris J gets it through the smoke. Nothing picks one off as well, but in a 1-on-4 situation, he doesn't even have a great chance of getting this bomb down. He is going to plant it.
Well, he's going to try to get it down.
He's going to get it down. No one from Mouse is in a position to stop that. A little bit of a mistake there. Not a huge issue. He's going to get some extra money for his teammates. Gets a second kill onto Tabson, so holding off a little strong just for some time before Gob's able to come in and clean him up. That's going to be 11th round for Mousesports, and the economy might be reset, but Cloud9's always been a team who's loved to consistently buy, especially with these stronger pistols now, and that plant might give them enough that they feel they can force buy here.
Yeah, you see 3,500 for Shroud and 3,600 for Semphis, so if nothing else, maybe some armor and some Tech 9s and try to let it ride. And you can see armor already being purchased for Semphis. He goes for the P250, some Tech 9s. So it is going to be a save round here. The higher cash money players are going to be able to pick up a couple of armors there in Shroud and Semphis respectively. And here's the smoke all the way to the bottom side of Banana as it is going to be dispatched out from the hands of Gabi. Now a very, very passive setup here. And look at this. Shroud is actually, they're going back for this setup here in Hawes. Semphis holding for the stairs, and Shroud is actually all the way up in bedroom, just going to maybe wait for a push. Somebody a little bit too aggressive in that apartment hallways, but Gabi is playing up on top of the pole. And then you've also got Tabson over here on lane. So they've got a relatively strong strong setup. Ooh, that Molotov is perfectly timed. Semphis trying to throw the smoke there. Is going to be able to get it off, but it's going to be a little bit more of a tall order, but
beautiful
nothing.
Pop flash through the smoke. Nothing gets that entry, and now the B bomb site is open. The smoke's going to go down. They're even going to have 2 lurkers up mid. One's going to try and flank.
Oh, nothing through the smoke, though. Finds Legia. This is a great bid for an eco-round steal from the C9 side, and if they keep up this pressure, they've got a rifle in the hands of Shazam. They're going to go for a little bait and switch in the back halls, and that's Tabson coming around the corner. Chris J finds one. Shazam takes down Tabson. It's a 2v4. Nothing, looking for another one. Shazam does finally go down, but Sean Garris is there for the trade, and it's all on Chris J, who's picked up the AK. He swings out. Sean Garris goes down, so now Semphis, too many S's on the terrorist side. But Semphis, look at this play. He's going to flank all the way around, and he's got to go now. He's sticking it. Oh, no! Oh, no! Semphis!
Oh, that is so heartbreaking. Semphis can't get the kill.
Oh,
he's just
no!
clipping the spindles. And that's got to feel absolutely terrible.
All he had to do was swing another foot out, and he would have been able to line up the shots, but he goes a little premature and spams through and just can't land the shot. The defuse comes in. Chris J in a 1v2 steals it right back for Mousesports. A 2-round lead now coming into the 8th in the second half. In Cloud9, they are on the full buy. That bomb plant giving them that extra cheddar in the bank that they were able to pick up a full nade set on pretty much every player. But that is, like you said, that is just heartbreaking. And Legia, the AWP at the B bomb site. Nico goes down. Legia pretty wounded himself, down to 6 HP. They've got to rotate one quick, and that's going to be Chris J coming all the way around. So it's a double op setup at the B bomb site right now. A very difficult way to hold this bomb site. But when you've got a player like Chris J who's playing out of his mind, it's going to be not so bad.
And I'm interested that Cloud9 is throwing so many resources at taking this B site. The bomb is dropped in apartments. Chris J gets one. Shazam responds right back onto him. They might not know he is back there. He misses the shot, though. That gives Shazam the opportunity. So all of a sudden, the B bomb site is open. Shazam's cleared it out. Bomb's finally rotating over there, and Gob hasn't got the message yet. He's still over towards A. Hasn't committed yet to anything, and finally he's going to push down mid for the flank, and it's going to be all up to Tabson. He's got to do something. He's going to throw a Molotov in, spam a little bit through the smoke, not finding anything. So this bomb is going to get planted at Oranges, and it's going to be a 2-on-2 retake. So both teams finding a lot of success over towards this B site.
Absolutely, but now it's going to come down to this retake. The first nade's going to go out, not going to find any damage. They've got one at first Oranges, and they've got Shazam playing Emo. A good crossfire being set up here, but Shazam peeks out. Semphis is going to be able to find one. Gabi is down to very low HP, but he's over in water. He's spamming away, and he gets the kill anyway. Semphis goes down, and another round lost. Not really sure why Shazam's decided to peek in that situation. Just let him come to the bomb.
And Cephas has just lost a pair of one-on-ones there that he feels he should have won both of them. And definitely the first one. The second one, some great bobbing and crouch maneuvering from Godby allows him to win that gun battle there. So 13 rounds for Mousesports. Another plant for Cloud9, and they are going to buy off of this. But things are getting dire, and it just looks like they can't close these rounds out.
Yeah, so now a 3-round lead for Mousesports. And again, we talked about being in the driver's seat. Chris J, though, what an arsenal. He's got the bulldozer. But it looks like all 5 members of the terrorist side of Cloud9 going to be working up through this alternate mid. And who is that over there in middle? That is actually the number 3-man Gabi, who's got the M4A1S. Looking for some frags. And look at this stack that they have on the terrorist side. They're going to go ahead and smoke things off. That's a good nade into Hawes. That's going to do some good damage onto Shroud, Nothing, and Simphis. They're going to go ahead and pour out, and Tabson down from the pit's going to be able to find one, looking for another. He gets it. And all 3 of the remaining terrorists are over here. Tabson with the third. Gabi chimes in, and Tabson with the quad. Going to shut down that push wholeheartedly. 14-10 now for Mousesports.
Yeah, Monster. He even threw a Molotov up into those halls to begin with that extinguished the smoke that they wanted, that Cloud9 wanted to throw to get him out of halls. That's something Titan does well on their ecos as well, is they throw that smoke towards the truck and they barrel rush out the halls and try and clear out pit. That round doesn't work out for him. The smoke plumes a little bit early because of the Molotov, and there's a gap that Tabson's able to work with, and he comes up huge for his team in the pit. 4 kills there.
And again, they're going to go ahead and force up on the Cloud9 side. It's going to be 2 Tech-9s, 2 Galils, and a P250. They've pushed Nico out by sandbags. Let's see what they can do. They have smoked off the top side of Banana. So a huge round on the back of Tabson there from the pit. We've seen him do it so many different times. The guy is absolutely insane. High caliber play being done on both sides. You saw it on Sean Garris in the first half, and now Tabson going to chime in with a quad of his own. And Shroud over here in Boiler Room. It's going to be a 1v1 fight between him and Tabson, and who's going to win this fight? The way Tabson played in the last round, I can't expect him to fall. Nico's going to open things up. Sean Garris down at the bottom side of Banana. And look at that again, like you talked about. They get the pick and they immediately fall back.
Right, play much more reserved, much more cautiously, not giving anything back, forcing an execute into the choke points. Another Molotov goes into the halls. That's going to force Semphis back as well. So now there is bracket control available for Cloud9 as they walk out. They haven't been able to clear off ramp side, but where do they go from here? The bomb's still down on the T ramp. They have 1 player over towards B. That's Nothing. He gets a pick for his team. He's going to fall off and pick up that bomb shortly. And I would assume he would come up mid and meet up with his team. And it looks like they want to wrap here. They have forced 1 rotate over towards B, so it's just Tabson all alone on wrap side. He's kind of stuck in no man's land where he's got to look both ways just in case. And here comes that wrap hit. He's going to drop a molly, but Shazam's already passed it. He's ready for it. He drops him with a clean headshot. The hit's coming up lane at the moment. They're into the bomb site. Tabson with another fantastic shot. A third fantastic shot. Tabson in these last 2 rounds has been massive. Shroud all alone in this 1-on-3. Can't get the bomb down. He's surrounded, but a nice shot with the Galil. Second one. So he creates his own opportunity, gets the bomb down just in time. But Chris J is going to come in, and can he win this 1-on-1? Spams in the box, knows exactly where it is. But Shroud comes up huge. A 4 kill of his own to bring Cloud9 back.
What a round from Shroud. I mean, what can you say about it? You had Tabson with the quad last round. He comes up with a huge triple to shut down that push into the A bomb site, and then Shroud just goes God mode and cleans up the mess in that A bomb site. A huge quad kill coming out from him, and that extends the life of Cloud9, and that's going to breathe new life into him as well. What a momentum shift that could be.
They've got a long way to go. They're still down 11-14. And I mean, this is a round that they could break the economy of Mousesports, and that would give them a great avenue back into this, but can't rely on those magical plays from your stars every single time, and they've got to find some kind of clean win here.
And that nade up Banana actually banked off the wall towards sandbags, and Nico eats half of his life because of it. So he's down to 50 to start this round out. But again, Chris J right around the corner here. He's going to pop flash through. He doesn't realize Nothing's right on the other side. Spamming through, though. He finds Sean Garris. Now give a chase at Chris J. Are you kidding me right now? 1 HP and then beat 9. He gets 3. Looking for the last one. And again, it's going to be on Shroud, but now with a 15-11 scoreline. The MP9.
The bulldozer, no less.
The bulldozer.
Unbelievable round from him. And nothing actually played that well. He read it perfect. Comes through the smoke when he thinks he's falling back, when he thinks he's got the reload advantage. And Chris J, just a magnificent performance there on the rap side.
Wow. I've seen it all today. And Chris J, he's going to stick with the MP9.
Why not after that?
I mean, he's got $2,700, sticks with an MP9.
You got to respect that.
Well, and the big thing too is now Cloud9's forced onto another eco round here. And 3 Tech 9s, a P250. They're taking this very, very quickly as opposed to the last few rounds. Shazam just runs out, catches, taps it out in the open. Him and Shroud combined to get that kill, so the A bomb site is a little bit weakened. They're going to make their way in. Gob's going to chime in with one, down to a 4-on-4, but this is going to be a retake scenario for Mouse.
And Gabi's trying to hold on to things over here in this A bomb site. They finally laid the smoke out, but Chris J again with the MP9 finds one. Nothing over here in the site. He's going to go down again to the MP9. Now Shroud to beat. 7 HP for Shazam. They just have to stay alive.
But they're on the wrong side of where the bomb's planted, so Shroud's got to get these kills. Chris J's going to crouch through. He gets this kill onto Shroud. He's going to have a great opportunity. He does. Shazam so far away. The bomb's not planted for him. This is going to be a free defuse. And this is going to be the match. So Shazam gets a little bit too far away. Bomb's planted on the other side of the boxes, and that MP9 in those last few rounds was just absolutely huge.
Was that another 3K with it or a 4K?
I didn't even see. I was just watching the defuse, and just, you know, taking over that lane side, and Shazam with only 9 HP didn't want to be in the crosshairs of that MP9. Any stray bullet from anything takes him out.
Yeah.
So he's trying to put some distance, but unfortunately the plant, you know, just it kind of backfires on him. So
it's pretty wild.
that's going to be DE Inferno goes the way of Mousesports, so up 1-0 in this series on Cloud9.
But one of the fun things to actually see during that matchup was actually the big plays, the hero plays from a couple individual players during that. Shroud had one, Tabson had a couple, Chris J as well a number of times. Sean Garris also had a couple. Nothing, he was heating up there in the end of the first half as well. So, you know, the individual plays coming back and forth from both sides, but unfortunately Mouse was able to make more of them and shut them down and finally on their CT side.
Well, you got to also imagine that at 12-11, or 12-10 when, or 11-10, whatever it was at the time that Semphis muffs that one-on-one with the P250, shooting through the spindles a little bit too much, can't find that kill.
Detrimental.
He wins that one-on-one, we might have a completely different half, and that's just, you know, he's thinking about that round at the moment.
And subsequently the round after that as well, where it was down to a 2v1 and they couldn't get it done. You know, Shazam, it was 2v2 and then came down to the 2v1, and Shazam a little bit too antsy, peeking out, gets caught, falls, and then Semphis not able to finish it off. 6 HP for, I believe, Legia was the last man for that one. 6 HP clutch in the 1v1. So a couple of miscues, and it could have been a completely different matchup there. It could have been 16-12 the other direction.
Right.
But Mouse get it done, and we're going to cash next. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some more exciting CSGO as we finish up this BO3. The next map is going to be DE Cash, potentially season for our tiebreaker. We'll be right back.